Hey, I love talking to entrepreneurs that are doing great things, and we work with a lot of really great business owners and entrepreneurs here at our firm, Barth Calderon. I had a chance to interview and discuss some really cool things with Michael Lamb, who's doing some crazy innovative stuff in the real estate world. So let's go take a look and hope you enjoy my discussion. Hi, everybody. Thanks for jumping on Wealth Protector TV. I'm here with Michael Lamb. And Michael, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Well, Michael's got a lot going on. We were talking a bit offline, and you're spinning a lot of plates, not only with your family, but your work, and you're running Kaydoh. So I love having people that are in the mix, entrepreneurs doing great things on this show. And so I just want to jump into you, Michael, and talk a little bit more about your background, like how you got started in your business, what you're doing, and let's roll from there.
Awesome, Paul. Well, first of all, thank you for reaching out and putting me on your podcast. I'm super excited about this. So I'll go right to it. When I first started out this venture, it's a typical story, right? I had a regular 9-to-5 job. I have an engineering background, and I finally made the decision to go full-on entrepreneurship when I started having these feelings of just, what am I doing every day? And that feeling started getting stronger and stronger. And then I getting a little bit more upset with myself, realizing, look, I'm just kind of wasting my potential here. And I decided, I don't want to die and regret knowing that I should have tried it. So if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail trying. I didn't want to retire and then have these regrets. So I decided to just go ahead and pull the trigger. And
were you a single guy then, or do you already have a family?
Oh, no. So I lived back on my family side. So I actually married my wife in college. So her and I, actually, she's my first girlfriend. So her and
Awesome.
I've been together since we were 16 years old. So a little story about that. Her and I just, were babies, and now I came from, a different school from her. And then, one thing leads to another. And then I actually have now 4 girls with her.
You're very busy, and there's no secrets with your wife. You've known her so long.
Absolutely. I say this to my friends and family, like I made a really great investment in her, because everything I spent on her, I've never lost it, because she's my wife now.
Oh, that's great. That's a great story.
But you know what? So she's been with me, and she's actually been a really great supporter. She's actually encouraged me to do this. I don't know why she believes in me, but for some reason she has given me all that energy to really go out and pursue this entrepreneurship thing. And one of my first ventures was a company I co-founded called Go Hire. It was a partner and I, and it was in the HR industry. And actually we built one of the first viral Facebook Messenger chatbots. So for the audience who don't know what chatbots are, these are automated messaging systems where you can text in and it will respond back like a human, or just have an appropriate response.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So we built this in about 2017 when chatbots started getting a lot of publicity. And when we released our bot, and the purpose of our bot was to help people find jobs, and we had access to jobs internationally. And people would just, say, we would introduce ourselves through the messaging and ask them what positions you're looking for, what location, and we would search for the jobs for them, and serve them different jobs that were available. That in itself, when we released it, went viral in over 100 countries.
Holy moly!
30 days.
Wow!
And doing over 100,000 messages. So you can imagine when I logged into the computer and I started seeing like all these conversations happening, I actually thought we had a virus. Okay, what the hell? No. This doesn't happen like this. And it was insane. And to kind of just cut the story short in a way, we ended up winning the most innovative social media solution award at the TIA Tech in 2017.
Unreal.
We had that momentum, but unfortunately we never seized it. And I decided to separate myself from the company. And I started out a different venture, something that I was more passionate about, which is Kaydoh, a real estate business, or a tech business in the real estate space.
Where's the name come from, Kaydoh?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So Kaydoh comes from. Have you ever seen the movie Green Hornet?
Yeah, yeah,
The Bruce Lee movie.
yeah.
So Bruce Lee plays the actor Kaydoh, and
Right.
he does all the ass kicking, makes the guy look great, but he never gets all the credit. So Kaydoh is that extension of an agent. Kaydoh can do all the heavy lifting, the ass kicking, but we don't want the credit. We want the agent to get the credit.
Love
That's
it.
how
Love
Kaydoh-
it.
That's how it comes from.
Love it.
Yeah.
So at Kaydoh, look, what are you doing at Kaydoh? Obviously, you and I have talked. I know a little bit about what you're doing, but for those listening, you're crushing it. Tell me about Kaydoh.
Yeah, so what we do is we help agents auto start the sales conversation using talking websites. And what I mean by that is someone can take a photo on their phone and share it on social media. The minute someone clicks on that photo, it goes to a website that we've made automatically in seconds with a built-in form and a live chat component where any online visitor can directly connect with the agent. And if the person fills out a form or chats with the system, all of that is automatically captured and sent to the realtor in real time. And on top of that, if they put in the phone number, we actually leverage Alexa, where we will send out a ringless voicemail to the lead with an assistant saying, hi, Paul, I'm Eva, Michael Lamb's assistant. Sorry I couldn't reach out to you. I've sent a note to Michael. He'll reach out to you in shortly.
Let me ask, because you lost me there. So who's taking the photo on their phone? Who's doing that? The agent?
Agents are naturally doing that. They are, and this is one of the opportunities we saw, because I'm connected with a lot of realtors, and what I've noticed is that a lot of people will, or a lot of agents will showcase the performance, let people know that they're still in the business, they're crushing it, they're producing sales, but they'll take a picture of themselves or take a picture of a home coming soon. But then the call to action has always been, call me, right? So the problem with that is that's too much of focusing on people who want to buy right now, but not necessarily people don't want to get a phone call. So we're reaching out to the people who are millennials. We all chat. We all send text messages. They don't, for me, I have like over 100 missed phone calls, but text messages, I have 0. And the demographic is like that. They want everything right now. So if you can make it easy for them to just send a quick question and you can respond just like a phone call, that's going to be beneficial to you. And agents are already taking photos, but why not make those photos into websites?
So then the photo agent, has their phone. They take a photo of the house, right, or whatever. Where are they sending the photo?
They share it. They share it on Facebook or LinkedIn, and by sharing that, they click on it. It goes to a website with their brand in it, with the built-in form. All of it is done automatically in a matter of less than 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I'm on LinkedIn. I see one of my connections share a photo. I click on it. It takes me to the website.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
The landing page. But the photo itself is that photo they've taken. So that's what makes it a little bit unique, is because a lot of times when you have not to get all nerdy on everyone, but when you take when you have a website, there's something where you have a single image that when you share that website, that single image is there and it's static. With us, that's dynamic. So whatever you take, it's gonna put it together as a single image. So to the consumer, they're gonna see what that brief link is. It'll have all the photos right there. And when they click on it to zoom in, it's gonna be a whole website with a landing page with all those photos in high quality.
That's phenomenal. I mean, it sounds incredible. And so it's amazing. I'm wrapping my head around that.
Yeah, I'll do something right now for fun.
Yeah.
I will use the app, and I'm going to take a picture of us doing this podcast right now. Here we go. Let me see if we can see us. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and save it for now. When we're done with this phone call, I'll send you
Send it to me. Okay.
And you'll see it in real time. But yeah, that's essentially what we do. And this product actually isn't public. So you're actually one of the first people outside of our space hearing this. And I don't mind disclosing it because we're working with Fortune 500 companies right now in the discussion of making it public and pushing it out nationwide. So there's a lot of things happening. Literally today, I just got off a phone call with someone in that space. So we're trying to make it happen. So this is going to move pretty quick in the next, I would say the next 3 months.
Awesome. And are you Are you working with agents on growing their practice? And what besides the app here and this incredible technology, are you doing other things with agents, or is this your main focus?
This is our main focus, but we do run marketing support groups. So I do, I recently spoke at National Association of Realtors conference.
I saw that.
2019, and actually the conference that I spoke at, the session that I did was on LinkedIn growth branding, and it's actually ranked number 2 out of 100. So we're getting a lot of attention in that respect as well. A lot of agents are really wanting to understand how to tap into LinkedIn and do it the right way, because the mistakes that I see consistently is they think it's like Facebook, and they'll post and run away, and they'll post their listings and run away. But what they really don't understand is the authentic way of really growing your brand is through engagements. I mean, you can have 40,000 people following you, but if you're not engaging, it's pointless. And the algorithm, the way it's set up, is not going to reward you. But if you're engaging, you're going to tap into that 40,000 followers. But it's how you engage. And I go preach this to different offices and conference and places that I speak at, and just tell them this is how you're supposed to do it. A lot of times, sometimes they think that they were going to come into a session thinking there's like a secret recipe to this, and I tell them no. I mean, it took me a while to build my brand, and I did it through the authentic way, but the truest way. I built real relationships. I mean, real estate is all about relationships, so I don't see why it shouldn't not be about relationships. So you just want to apply what you're already doing outside the digital world.
Yeah, no, I see the same thing where people on LinkedIn, so our firm is, very big on LinkedIn, and I see exactly what you're talking about is people, are selling. They're just selling, look at me, look at me, look at me, which isn't real life. I mean, if you walk into a networking event, you're meeting people, you're not going to just start spouting about yourself. You're going to start asking questions. Hey, where are you from? What are you doing? Do you have kids? I mean, you and I, when we first met, started talking. We started talking about kids. You held up your baby on, before we started recording. That's what it's about. And LinkedIn, like you said, should be treated the same way, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I actually had someone that in one of the sessions asked me, Mike, I don't want to be friends with my clients. Like, I don't want them to be all up in my business on Facebook. Should I be friends with them? And I responded in a way like, if you don't want to make it relational and make it purely transactional, this is where real estate will be replaced by AI technology, because AI isn't relational. AI is about the transaction, repeating the process and automating it. So if you are trying to compete with AI, then I'm sorry, you're going to have a hard time winning that race. But if you do relationship based and do try to have that relationship and be friends, that's something where AI is going to have a very hard time competing with you. And
great point.
And when I said that, I mean, sometimes people need to hear that. Like, yeah, this is how you're going to protect your job in the real estate space. I mean, there's like 1.4 million realtors out there. I mean, 90% are not really producing a lot of transactions, and they have like part-time jobs. Like, how do they still be in this space, do what they love, and not be, disrupted by this technology that's happening? I mean, it's growing tremendously, the whole AI space. So for me, I've been telling agents, just be yourself, really build those relationships, because those are going to want the ones who will produce much more revenue, not just the first transactions, but the multiple transactions that happens afterwards.
Phenomenal. I got to ask you, you're so busy. You got the 4 kids, married, got this new technology that sounds like it's exploding. How do you manage your time? I mean, what are you doing, to make sure you're balanced? It's always an issue for all of us that are busy. What are you doing? Are you working out? Are you sweating during the week? You working out? You eating right? All that stuff?
So combination of things. First, I don't really have an answer. So I will, I'm struggling just like everyone else. But what I'll do is I started intermittent fasting. Okay, first I want to stop there. I don't want people to be like, oh my God, this is one of those guys jumping on this phenomenon. It was actually more of, when you're an entrepreneur and you are all in, you really don't have time. So naturally, you're not going to eat your lunch. So that was why I did that. Not because I wanted to lose weight or any of that nature. It was more of, I just don't have time to be eating. If I had a button to press, I'm full, I would do it every time. Like, I wouldn't have to eat,
Right.
Just because. But I do, intermittent fasting where I'll skip my lunch meals. I have a strict guideline because I have 4 girls, and They're all under 8 years old. We homeschool too, by the way. So my wife stays home and homeschools. We made that as a decision to be more involved in the educational system.
Nice.
So we have a lot of things happening, and we just make it strict. Like after like a certain time, I think our time schedule is like after 4 or 5 p.m. No matter what, I gotta stop, and that's family time. And the phones are off. We eat together as a family. We make sure that we fit that in our schedule. I know it sounds like crazy to think of it like you gotta make schedule, but you really do, because if you don't, it's so easy to get, oh, give me another minute. Give me a minute, I'll finish this. Or tell my daughter, give me another minute, I'll finish this. Work is never gonna finish. It doesn't matter what you do, you'll always have work, so that's always gonna stay there. So I always try to make a list in the morning, like the top 3 things I got to do. And then once I get that done, I feel good, and everything else is gravy. And I know that my timeline is like when it hits 4 or 5, I gotta stop, and the rest of the time is with my family. And it starts all over again the next day. And and that's how it works. And I don't have any secret recipe other than scheduling. That's been the biggest help for me.
Yep. No, that's the grind. You're living the grind, which is nothing wrong with it. It sounds like you've got great family time in there, which is admirable. I give you. I mean, I have 4 kids too, so you and I share that challenge of working in the family time. But man, I could talk to you forever, Michael. And I'm offline. I'm going to. We're going to further the discussion, but I just want to say thanks so much for jumping on. It's been a pleasure hearing a bit about what you're focused on.
Awesome, Paul. And if there's anything I can support you with, let me know. I'm a big supporter on this. I run a Facebook group called Growth Marketing for Small Businesses. So feel free to join that, or any of your audience, feel free to join that. I actually give out tips. I will write ads for people to copy and paste. People have got business out of it. So we do this complete for free. Again, I live this motto of 51-49. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it just basically means give more than you take. You do that, the world of business will come back and pay you. Don't worry. The world is plentiful. There's no need to get everything. Give some of it back. You'll get some of it back.
Couldn't agree more. Great. Thanks, awesome. Michael. We'll talk again.
All right. Thank you.
All right.